guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do a review on an item that I kind of mentioned back during my winter favorites, and I got a couple of requests to go more in depth into it. It is the self-defense tool that I use when I travel to Minnesota, since I am not able to take my guns, since my CCW permit does not share reciprocity between Colorado and Minnesota. So I wanted to talk today about this. This is the Taser Pulse, exactly the way you would get it if you ordered it from Taser, from Amazon. I've seen them in some big box sporting goods stores before, and so I wanted to go over everything that you receive, how to use it, how it works, what it looks like when you use it, and let's just dive on in. So like I said, this is the box, the way you receive it. They no longer sell just the Taser Pulse, it is now the Taser Pulse Plus, and I will go over some of the additional features on top of that, but it works the exact same way as the version I have. On the back it gives you some of the specs that goes with it. On the top it tells you what it all comes with. This whole thing slides out. Here is the actual box that it comes in. And alright, now here's the stuff that's actually interesting. So this is what you get in the box. You get a little quick guide that tells you how to use it, everything you need to know. And then you get the actual Taser, 2 live cartridges, and a little protection sleeve. Then underneath all this, you will also get instructions and a target. Now this is specifically meant to work with the Taser. If you do shoot it within the boundaries here, you can actually see it spark. It is specifically made for Taser. It's not just a standard target. Alright, now back into here, we'll go ahead and remove the actual Taser. So this is your actual Taser unit. And Taser is actually a brand name. It's kind of like the whole Kleenex facial tissue thing. But Taser is the actual brand name that makes this device. They also make a couple others. And you can see it looks very, very similar to a standard compact, subcompact style gun. In fact, go ahead, clear this guy. So now you can see that is cleared. And when you compare the two, you can see, if you line them up, the very back end of the self-defense tool, the sights don't quite line up, but if you line them up back here, the Taser itself is significantly shorter. I'd say about 1 inch to 1.25 inches. If you look at them this way, the Taser itself, the front end is a little bit thicker. As you go farther back, it does taper down. Then you also do have the safety switches on the side that does make it a little bit thicker. And then as far as height goes, it is a little bit shorter as well. Alright, now back to the main unit. So as you can see on either side here, you do have an ambidextrous safety switch. So it is opposite of at least what I expect with my firearm. So down is safe and up is live. So you've got the red for fire. You do also have this little light back here that goes green when it is ready to fire. You can also see that there is a light and laser that comes on. It's a little bit easier to see here. It is definitely much brighter at night. Just a little trigger. It doesn't have a whole lot of travel. You can hear that click. Is it engaging? Oh, and you do also have these very low profile sights. And then this nice bright yellow that all lines up. Alright, and then with that, I also said you get this protective sleeve. It kind of looks like a little sock that you can just slide right in it. There are also companies that make actual holsters for this. I know a lot of people that like using sticky holsters, but you do have that if you feel like you want to keep that to protect any of the electronics in there, and it is pretty quick to take off. And like I said, you also get 2 live cartridges. They do come in a plastic protective case. There is the actual cartridge, and these are universal for the civilian line units. So this works for the old C2 units, the Taser Pulse, the Pulse Plus, and I feel like I have another one. If I can think of the name, I'll pop it up over here. Alright, so this is actually pretty easy to install. So you've got your front end here, and from my experience, it doesn't really matter which side you go with. So it just lines up right in there. And from here, I personally don't want to go ahead and just slam my hand onto it. So I'll put it on some hard surface, press in, and there you go. Now all I have to do is flip up that safety and it is live. And to remove that cartridge, the easiest way I have found is to use both thumbs to press on these little circles right here, and it lifts right out. I'm not going to fire one of those cartridges right now because I'm not exactly in a place that I can do that safely, and those cartridges aren't exactly cheap. I think they're about $40 to $50 a piece. So they are a little pricey, but if you are not able to carry a firearm for whatever purpose, if you're not old enough, if you're in an area where you aren't. Now, like I said, Taser is technically a brand name. Taser is the company that makes this unit, but there is also a difference between what we would consider a taser and a stun gun, like this guy. This is more readily available, simple little switch it on, get the red light, and you've got those prongs up there, hit the button on the side, and now this, like I showed earlier, you can use the same way. Go ahead, flip that up, pull the trigger, but it will run for a full 30 seconds unless you go ahead and switch that safety off like I did. Alright, now there is one more piece to this. You've got the actual battery down here, so to disassemble that, take off that little cover. This is actually the most difficult part, is putting this back together. So here you've got the actual battery, the cord with the wires, and then the little white connector down there. Trying to find that is a little difficult. That is the one thing I would say to make this better would be to make the wires inside a little bit longer so you don't have to try to dig in there to try to connect that. But when I travel, I do disconnect that, take out the cartridge, and I've been able to fly with this in my checked luggage. Never had a problem with that. Just slide that back in there, slide that over the top, and it's ready to go. Now they no longer make this just Taser Pulse. Now it is the Taser Pulse Plus. It has all the features I just showed you. Everything works the exact same way. The cartridges are all the same. But now it is integrated with the Noonlight app on your phone. So basically, as soon as you pull the trigger and set that off, if you have it set up on your phone, it automatically notifies law enforcement. Oh, and one thing I did forget to mention is that inside this actual cartridge itself is not only the prongs, but it's also filled with tons of little confetti that has the same serial number as what is on the bottom there, along with the expiration date. So if you did have to use this, they can use that and include that in police reports. So like I did show earlier, you can enter the cartridge in either way, as long as the metal nodes here make contact with the metal nodes here. So as you can see, going that way, you've got metal on metal, metal on metal, or going the other way works just as well. I'm a neat freak. I like the lightning bolt going in the right way. And that is the Taser Pulse. my train of thought now.